What's going on, everybody? Captain Gonzo with that Flight Sim channel, and well, if you've been following along our last couple of videos, then I know two things. A, you love that Flight Sim channel and we love you, and B, you're a Citation 10 fanatic just like myself, and that is perfectly fine. If that is you and you identify as a Citation 750, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Guys, we are here. We are ready to go for that quick turn. Remember how we came in from Denver? We parked right here on the cargo ramp. Well, now, ladies and gentlemen, it seems like we've picked up an additional passenger. Yep, we've got a full cabin now. We've got 8 people on board, so we're even heavier. We've got more cargo. It is time to head down to Orlando. That is going to be our route today. So you can see the aircraft is fired up. Everything is running. I've got the IRS switches still on online because I had to start again today on a cold and dark cockpit. So we're going to go ahead and make sure everything is configured before we dive into the CDU. So emergency exit lights armed. Mic select. We're going to go with headset. Let's go ahead and open up some window vents here for now. Let's go to the FO side. Make sure the same thing here. Headset, window vent, and floor vent are open. Seatbelt signs are on. Ground recognition beacon light is on. Nav light on, because we're simulating that we're here waiting for the fuel truck, right? Quick turning, that is what it means, guys. Quick turn means exactly what it sounds like. You're going to come in, drop off packs, and you got to head right back out the door. Okay, let's get started. Here we go. So we're ExecJet 343. Typically in the general aviation world, those aircraft will have a designated call sign, right? Especially with like NetJets. That tail number, for example, would be 343 Quebec Sierra. So they would always fly under that call sign as far as I know. EJA, which is ExecJet. All right, so we're going to stick to that same call sign. We're flying Fort Worth, Orlando, alternative Atlanta. Airtime 1 hour and 48 minutes. Block time 2 hours and 16 minutes. But let's see if we can beat that. Once again, we're in the Citation 10, the mighty rocket. Looks like we're expecting 17 right for departure, Marshall 3, Azalea, and so on. Okay, let's get it going. Pausing it. Give me that GPS coordinate. Boom. Alright, so here we go. Now that we've got our origin, we're going to press nav, departure, 17 right. What was it? Marsha. There we go. Marsh. And then Zalia. After Zalia, direct HRV. Harvey. There we go. New Orleans. Makes more sense, right? Nothing over here. I mean, look at those coordinates. All right, here we go. So HRV, we're going over NOLA, and then we're going to join the Quebec 105 airway. So the way we're going to type that in is like such. Q105 over to Redfin. Boom goes the dynamite. Then via Yankee 280 to charge. Where is it? Here we go. CHRGE. Yep. Awesome. And then that is our transition to the pricey 4 arrival 35 right. Not surprised. They always put us out there in the ether. Let's set our destination, KMCO. Nav, arrival, runway. 35 right. Let's go with cruise. We said pricey. Charge. 35 right, cruise, ILS, charge, pricey 4. Boom goes the dynamite. There we go. That's all set. Let's go to the performance in it. Next. Climb. You know what, let's go a little bit steeper. Let's do 260 today again. Max, descent max, or 300. Once again, flight level 390. Hopefully the winds are as favorable as they've been thus far. We're going to sync the EFB. There we go. You see you got more cargo compared to last flight, which we had 350. We've got 8 packs, 8,200 pounds of fuel. Gross weight 32.4. Confirm. We're going to set minimums to 1,000. Estimated time en route, 1 hour and 59 minutes. Nah, we'll beat that. 855 nautical miles. Okay. Arriving 12:31. Fuel remaining 3,200. Perfect. Take off. All right, well, we're going to grab some weather here, information from Dallas. So give me 1 second. Let's tune into ATIS and see what's going on. All right, here we go, ATIS 123.775.
Lighty 10. Sky conditions, solid overcast at 5,000 feet. Temperature 19er. Dew point 16. Altimeter 29er Density altitude 1200 feet. Advise on initial contact, you have information X-ray. Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport, information X-ray. 0453 Zulu. Arriving runways 18 right, 17 left, 13 right, 17 center. Departing runways 17 right, 18 left, 13 left. Wind calm. Visibility 10. Sky conditions, solid overcast at 5,000 feet. Temperature 19er.
Okay.
Dew point 16.
Slower that radio. So we've got information X-ray. Let's go over to clearance 128.25. While we're tuning in, let's go ahead and set these bad boys to nav. There we go. Good PFD, good MFDs. And let's go ahead and get our clearance so we can get started heading down to Orlando. Fort Worth clearance, good morning, Executive 343 with X-ray. Picking up IFR for Orlando. Oh, snap. Radio was down. Oh, God.
Exec-Jet 343, Dallas clearance, clear to Orlando via the March 3 departure. Then is filed, climb and maintain 10,000. Expect flight level 39010 minutes after departure. Departure on 118.100, squawk 5455. Expect runway 17 right.
Clear to Orlando via the March 3 departure, then it's filed. Climb and maintain 10,000. Expect flight level 390, 10 minutes after departure. Departure on 118.100, squawking 5455, expecting 17 right for Exec-Jet 343. All right. Let's go ahead and go to ground.
343, read back correct. Contact ground on 121.65 when ready.
Contact ground on 121.65 when ready for Exec-Jet 343. Bye-bye. All right, we've got ground freak 12165. Let's go ahead and set that squawky squawk 5455. 5455. I'm feeling kind of wacky today. Don't know why. Oh, yeah, I almost forgot. Got to set up my takeoff parameters here. So, outside air temperature is 19 degrees. It's funny how it's always off by 1. I don't think it matters. Wind's calm, apparently. Put that there. Temperature 2994. Cool. Yeah, dry, even though we've got some overcast conditions. There's our density altitude. Yep, flaps 15. Anti-ice off. Confirm. There's our V-speeds, 131, 132, 136. Sweet. Okay, I'm happy with that. We're squawking 5455. I get the feeling they're going to change it up on us, like what happened leaving San Francisco. But you know what? I'm just going to go with it right now. Let's go ahead and head outside of the airplane. I should have opened that door, by the way. That probably hurt me a little bit. Let's go do our quick walk around before we get started here. So let's go ahead and pull chocks. Throw them off to the side, because clearly these ramp service agents just don't care. Let's go ahead and close this bad boy up. Alrighty. Looks like we're A-OK. Let's start running. Let me make sure I don't hit my head here.
Dallas ground, V-Bird 123 Heavy, request clearance IFR flight to New Orleans as filed. They have the
Here we go.
information Golf on board, Fever 23.
I'll have your clearance in just a second.
All right, let's close this door.
1 second while I grab the paperwork.
That looks good. Let me actually open this door so I can slide on in to the old flight deck. All right, guys, we're ready to go. Let's go ahead and reduce comms just for a little bit. I got to remember to bring him back up when I'm ready to taxi so I'm not missing out on any calls. All right, just making sure parking brake is set. We're not going anywhere. You can see I've got my engine page. Start pressure showing 47. Bleed air valve is open. We're going to close that ISO valve. Do one quick scan. Everything looks good. Starting number 2. Here we go. Watching N2. I'll never get tired of firing up the Citation 10. Such a lovely, lovely plane. Oh, altimeters are off by 1. Squirrel brain there. All right. Reset that right-hand generator. ITT stable. N1, N2 stable. Number 1. Here we go. While engine 1 is stabilizing, let's make this 10,000. That's what we were cleared to on our departure. Awesome. Reset. APU can now come off. ISO valve closed. And stop it. Bring up comms a little bit.
Expect flight number 350, 1 minute after departure. Departure on 18.1.
Let's go to Navigraph.
336.
Delta 1421, read back correct.
Let's look up Dallas Fort Worth. I'm gonna need to pull up that taxi diagram. Okay, come on. There we go. So we're going to 17 right all across the road over there. Oh, the world, sorry. We're probably going to expect something like Whiskey Kilo, cross 18 right, 18 left, and then Fox, Yankee, and whatever. But we'll see. I just want to keep it open, get an idea so that when I write this instruction down, I know what to expect. Or somewhat. All right, comms coming back up. Let's go ahead and just finish setting the aircraft up for departure. Flaps 15. Let's not forget our stabilizer trim. Cool. Let's go to norm. 12165 is on COM 1. So no, we're ready to taxi. Fort Worth ground, good morning. It's XJ343 with X-ray, ready to taxi. 17 right for departure. Oh, then
Exec Jet 343, Dallas ground, runway 17 right, taxi via Whiskey Kilo, Charlie Alpha, hold short of runway 36 left, then Alpha, hold short of runway 36 right, then Kilo Echo Foxtrot.
All right, we'll taxi to runway 17 right via Whiskey Kilo, Charlie Alpha, hold short 36 left, Alpha, hold short 36 right, Kilo Charlie Foxtrot for Exec Jet 343. Holy hell. Excuse me. All right, let's see if we got that right. I keep forgetting to keep bring my volume up when I am giving them a call. Taxi light on, parking brake off. Let's give it gas. Clear on the left, clear on the right. Good brakes. Here we go. All right, we're gonna figure this out. All right, so it was Whiskey Kilo, Charlie, and Alpha. Oh wow, they're having us taxi all the way down here. That's weird. But that is what the ground controller wants us to do. That is exactly what we will do, guys. You know the drill. Sit back, hang tight, enjoy the scenes. We'll be ready for departure momentarily.
Dallas ground, American 1703, request push and start.
American 1703, push and start approved, tail west.
Approved tail west, American 1703.
All right, as we make our way here to Echo Fox for 17 right. Let's go ahead and pull up that SID. One for the March 3. Do a quick review here. Pull it up. Echo Golf, Echo Fox should be next here. Pretty quiet morning here. Not a lot of traffic moving. I see a lot of static aircraft.
American 1299, welcome to Dallas. Contact ground on 121.65.
Switch to ground, 121.65, American 1299. Thank you, sir.
Oh, a little step here. Here we go. Boom. Alright, we're going to hold short here. So for 17 right, climb heading 176 to 1120. Direct treks at or above 5,000. Then on track 100 degrees to Jolin. Pretty easy. 30.6 miles to Thor. Then Marsh. And then there's Zalia. Or Zalia. Alright, well, I think I feel comfortable with this. Looking for 1120. Once again, verifying altimeters are set. Think we're ready? Let's give them a call. And Tower Execjet 343 holding short 17 right, ready for departure.
Execjet 343, runway 17 right, winds 130 at 3. RNAV Trex cleared for takeoff.
RNAV Trex cleared for takeoff 17 right, Execjet 343. Alright, wing light on, tail flood. We're getting all the lights on. We're going to start that clock. Let's take the runway. Let's get airborne. Approach end looks clear. Runway is vacant. Forgot to turn off the master to the APU. One 17 right. That's a good sign. Do a rolling start here. Introduce power. And let's set takeoff thrust. Whoops, forgot my pedostatic. That's what happens when I'm rushing. Airspeed's alive. 120. And rotate. Oh, yeah, she's heavy. You can feel it. Positive rate of climb there. Gear coming up. There's 1,000 feet. 1120. Departure frequency was 118.1.
ExecJet 343, contact departure on 118.55.
118.55, ExecJet 343. They're going to change our squawk. Watch. Fort Worth departure, ExecJet 343, climbing 2,300 for 10,000. RNAV treks. Go flaps 5. Taxi light off.
ExecJet 343, Dallas departure. I am not seeing your transponder. Confirm squawking 7221, mode C, ident. One more time for me.
7221 on the box, ID. And departure, we're squawking 7221, ident for ExecJet 343.
ExecJet 343, Dallas departure. Radar contact. 2 south of Dallas at 3100 feet. Dallas Fort Worth altimeter 29901. Climb and maintain 10,000. Turn left heading 165. Vectors to Trex. Then as filed. Climb and maintain flight level 210. ExecJet 343 readback correct. Ground will be on 121.65.
What? What? I have no idea. Alright. Alright, climb and maintain 10,000. Turn left heading 165. Vectors to Trex. Then as filed. Climb and maintain flight level 210. ExecJet 343. Yeah, I had a feeling that was going to happen when they changed that frequency on me. So I'm just going to stay on LNAV or nav here. We're not going to do any heading changes because we're already inbound to Trex. Then it's filed. We got cleared to flight level 210. We're climbing nicely. Let's set our pressurization. Breaking through the clouds here. Look at that. Sunlight piercing. Let's go daytime on the lighting. Making that left turn now. Jolin.
Maintain flight level 320.
Engine sync set to turbine.
320, American 826.
I don't know why that happens with SayIntentions. They all of a sudden just change up your departure frequency and your squawk. No idea. And it's the same squawk as when we left San Francisco 7221, if I'm not mistaken. But it's all good.
ExecJet 343, climb and maintain flight level 260.
Climb and maintain flight level 260, ExecJet 343.
ExecJet 343, climb and maintain flight level 330.
Hey, Julia, you ever heard of that Flight Sim channel? Yeah, I get it. Look, you're excited. You've got a nice, juicy pizza there. Although I see black olives. Shame on you. Anyways, have you heard of that Flight Sim channel? I'm going to take that as a no. You're not even blinking. You're kind of worrying me there a little bit. Okay, look. I get it. I don't want to get up on your space here, okay? But if you haven't heard of that Flight Sim channel, head on over to YouTube and hit that subscribe button. A couple of goofballs over there, Captain Gonzo, Captain Flacco. I mean, we're flying you around, giving you pizza, iced tea. Looks like some, whatever soda that is. Splash berry. Yeah. Okay. Look, we're just asking for a little help here. All right, subscribe. So that way you can tell people that Captain Gonzo flew you around on the Citation 10. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and grab a slice here, if you don't mind. Thank you. By the way, the lav is all the way back there. Go ahead and use it at your will. Thank you, dear. Okay, I see you, Mary. We're going to play the staring game. You're just not going to blink either. Julia up there up front, she, at least she was motivated. You just seem tense. Are you okay? I'm going to offer the same thing that I told Julia. This door right here, ma'am, lavatory. You can go back there and pray, hide out, enjoy the rest of your flight, okay? But I'm going to need you to turn that face and change it up, please, okay? We're having fun here. Hey, have you heard of that Flight Sim channel? I don't even want to know what's up with this guy. Kind of worrying me. He seems like he's tripping. I don't know. If I was flying aboard a Citation 10, man, I'd be having a lot more fun. I'd be staring out, looking at those big old pipes right behind my head, looking at that wing. But this guy is flipping out. You alright, buddy? Oh, he just looked at me. That is creepy. Okay, I'm going to go back to doing some other stuff. That guy really scares me. Check it out, guys. We just hit a little bit over an hour since our departure out of Fort Worth. Look at that speed, 591 across the ground. Look at those winds coming from the, what is that, southwest, pushing us along. Can't ask for more. Flirting right there with our overspeed, Mach 0.918, trying to hang on to 9 or 2. I saw it peak at 595 at one point. I was hoping we'd break 600. Here, let's go to MFD. Let's change it to X and Y. So 60 knots up the tailpipe, 60 knots from the south. That is awesome. Man, I almost considered step climbing up to like flight level 430, something like that, just to see if those winds would really help us. But you know what? This is the fastest thus far I've flown on the Citation 10. And I am happy. But we'll continue tracking along. Here in just a few seconds, we'll start briefing the approach. And you know what? Let's go ahead and start doing that right now. Here we go. We're checking out the moving map on the EFB included with the Citation 10. So we're over the pond now, over the Gulf of Mexico. Oh, whoops. Gulf of America. Whoops. Anyways, who cares, right? We're going to go to Navigraph here. Let's type in KMCO, our home airfield here at that flight sim channel. Let's go ahead and pull up the star. What are we doing the pricey for? Yep, as expected. So we're going to come in right over Tampa and St. Petersburg. Going to be a beautiful, beautiful arrival into Orlando. No idea what the weather's looking like, but we'll pick that up here momentarily. There's Charge, inbound to Dog, Chive, Dex, Bulks, Pricey, and we are going to be landing from the south to the north. 35 right is way out here. It is all the way on the opposite end the opposite end of the airfield where we need to be, because signature is over here on the west side. But it's okay. We'll do a long taxi. So we'll be coming in, and as you can see, if we're expecting runway 35 left and right, we'll anticipate coming to Laura at 210 knots at 7,000 as published here with the 2 solid lines. Let's go ahead and look at the approach. We're looking for 35 right. ILS localizer 35 right. There we go. So we've got ATIS on top, 121.25. Approach control 124.8. That sounds about right. And again, one thing I like to do is verify title here on the chart that I am briefing. So ILS localizer 35 right, Orlando, Florida, MCO. Localizer frequency 111.15. Final approach course 5 degrees. Hughes 1600. Decision altitude 290 or 200 feet above ground level. Touchdown zone elevation 90, so pretty much at sea level. For the missed approach, climb to 500 feet, then climbing right turn to 3000. Outbound on the Orlando VOR, radio 140. To Presque intersection, hold 16.2 from the Orlando VOR. And continue climbing, hold to 3000. Transition level, flight level 180. Minimum safe altitude around the Orlando VOR is 3,000. Now, keep in mind the Orlando VOR is not the international airport, but rather the Orlando exec area. Stand by. Switching to Jack Center on 132.925, exec check 343. Alright, so really random here, guys, but SayIntentions just gave out like a public announcement as I was briefing this approach in the background. And yeah, traffic injection is unavailable right now until 1300 Zulu. So I think we're going to have to come into Orlando to an empty airfield. But it's okay. We'll still make it work. All right, so here we go. We're checking out our horizontal vertical profile. Stand by. 135.925 for exec check 343. Let's try this again. I called them earlier, nobody responded. Jack Center, exec check 343, flight level 390. Alright, let's see what we got here. There we go, we got a response, that's good. Alright, so here we go. We've got our straight in landing 35 right. You can see here as well, right above it, we've got our speed. So ground speed, we're going to be approaching probably at 120. Seems to be the VREF and VAP speed for the Citation 10. So we should be descending at about 637 feet per minute. And we should be established on that approach for about 2 minutes and 18 seconds. Here we've got the runway lighting information. Missed approach procedure here, just abbreviated. And you can see our minimums once again. Decision altitude 290 feet on the barrel or 200 feet above ground level. Runway visual range 1,800 feet or half a statute mile. And yeah, I think I'm happy with this for now. No need to really go in depth. We know what to expect. We'll configure the jet here. So let's go ahead and get our nav radio tuned to the localizer 111.15. 111.15. Set that on the nav 1. And as you can see, we still got some ways to go. Let's check out our progress. Next, 157 miles till our top of descent. We got good fuel, 5,100 pounds. Everything looking good. Not much to it. We're just hanging back, enjoying the ride aboard the rocket. All right, we're approaching our top of descent here. We're 23 miles away from Dog. Top of descent shortly. Before that, let's do something that I haven't been doing lately, and I probably should. Let's call up our checklists. So we're going to pull up here our descent checklists. First thing we need to do, left hand, right hand windshield, anti-ice set to on. Set those on. Side window vent knobs closed. Closed, captain side. FO side. Pressurization check. Set for landing elevation. So we're going to begin set that down. Even though we're a little bit early, it's okay. We won't die, I promise you. Anti-switches as required. APU as desired. Exterior lights as required. And altimeters set. We got to pick up our ATIS for Orlando. Our descent checklist is complete. So let me go ahead and see if I can grab that ATIS information. I've got my star chart here pulled up, but I think we're good. We won't need that right now. Let's pull up that instrument approach plate. Here we go. ATIS 121.25. COM2. Pop it.
ND060 at 4. Visibility 10. Sky conditions. Few at 1400 feet. Few at 8,000.
Alright, anyways, let's go ahead and configure our landing data. So temperatures 21 degrees Celsius. Altimeter will be 2994. Windsward 060 at 4. Yep. Dry. Let me bring up the camera over here. Flaps 35. Anti-ice will be off. Landing data. Good headwind, 3 knots. Slight crosswind, 1 knot. 130 VAP, 125 VREF. We are a little bit heavier. Check it out. We got 9,000 feet available. 3,300 feet required. So we are A-OK there. 130, 125. Let's go back to the radios page. We're all set up. We'll continue this descent now. Should be somewhere... Oh, not quite yet. There's the west coast of Florida. One of my favorite places to go and visit and vacation with my wife and my son. Love it over there. Clearwater, St. Petersburg, Tampa. Shout out to you guys. And shout out to our friend Jose, the VR pilot, ATC, real life out there at Tampa. Check him out if you haven't seen his channel. Again, good friend of the channel. Awesome guy. Awesome content.
Flight following to Tallahassee.
Latest 888, contact Tampa departure on 118.15.
ExecJet 343, Miami Center, cleared pricey for arrival into Orlando. At your discretion, descend and maintain 13,000, altimeter 2988.
All right, we've been handed off to Orlando Approach. We're going to give them a call now on 119.4.
119.4 is set.
Okay, thanks. Orlando Approach, Exec Jet 343 on the pricey 4 arrival with Oscar.
Exec Jet 343, Orlando approach. Good afternoon, Orlando altimeter 29901. Expect the ILS runway 35 right approach into Orlando.
Altimeter 29901, expect the ILS 35 right into Orlando for Exec Jet 343. 29901, set.
Exec Jet 343, altimeter 29901 noted. Expect the ILS 35 right approach into Orlando.
Copy, altimeter 29901, expecting the ILS 35 right into Orlando for Exec Jet 343. We'll continue descending. Everything is flowing smoothly. And as we continue here, let's go ahead and call up the approach checklist. Landing data confirmed. We had our speeds set, so VAP 135, VREF 130. We're a little bit heavier. Crew briefing complete. Avionics flight instruments check and set. Minimums, we got to set that, so we're going to go with our radar altimeter. 200. Set.
Exec Jet 343, speed
Stand by.
250 knots.
250 knots for Exec Jet 343. There we go. We're on FMS speed 250 holding. All right, fuel cross fleet switch is off.
343, speed 250 knots noted.
I hate when they're doing that. They're just repeating themselves for no reason. Exterior lights as required. We'll go ahead and get landing lights on here as we approach 10,000 feet. Flap slats as required. Passenger briefed. Seat belts, shoulder harnesses, aft dividing doors. Let's go ahead and close that up. Passenger advisory lights to safety checked. Left hand and right hand ignition switches to norm. They are indeed in the norm. Pressurization, 0 differential at touchdown, and engine sync knob can come off. Approach checklist complete. I will focus on continuing this descent to establish ourselves for a good straight in for runway 35 right. Or actually, it's not going to be a straight in. Yeah, we're coming in kind of a long left base. We're going to make a left turn towards the northeast to intercept that localizer. Hopefully everything goes smooth. All right, we've been cleared direct fascia for the ILS, and we cleared for the ILS approach. And we're going to descend to 3,000, so let's set this on the autopilot here. We're going to disable VNAV, vertical speed. Let's go ahead and start slowing down. Let's go to manual speed. 210. Let's find fascia. There we go. This is where the fun begins. Let's get some speed brakes out, help us slow down a bit. 1,500 to go. And reduce that descent rate a little bit. And remember, folks, once you're cleared for that approach, specifically in this case the ILS, any altitude constraints you were abiding by at that moment are no longer. You are cleared by air traffic control as long as you stay at that assigned altitude, in this case 3,000. And we're good to stay at 3,000 until established on the localizer. There's the airfield. Let's go ahead and bring back speed. Let's go 180 for now. Let's go ahead and get some slats. Get some drag. All right, there's 3,000.
Climb and maintain flight level 330.
There we are on the approach plate, inbound fascia,
Center on 134.0.
and our final approach course of 5 degrees. We'll set here, or we'll confirm in just a second. And while we're inbound, let's go ahead and switch over to nav for that localizer. There we go, 14.3, India Charlie Echo Romeo. India Charlie Echo Romeo confirmed. Final approach course set, 5 degrees. And it looks like our VAP speed is now 128, VREF 123. Go ahead and slow us down some more. Let's get us down to that VAP speed.
ExecJet 343, contact Orlando Tower on 118.45.
118.45 for ExecJet 343. There we go. Let's see if we can intercept that localizer. Orlando Tower, ExecJet 343 on the ILS 35 right approach. Let's go gear down.
ExecJet 343, Orlando Tower.
Taxi light on.
ILS 35 right approach.
Continue the ILS 35 right approach for ExecJet 343. Let's get flaps in. Flaps 15. Let's go ahead and arm the approach mode. Got a good glide slope capture. There we go. Let's go flaps full. All right, before landing checklist, landing gear down and locked, 3 green. Check. Flaps as required. Speed brakes retracted. ECAS, no messages or alerts. Airspeed VREF, we're going to hold on to that VAP momentarily. Autopilot off above minimum use height. Before landing checklist complete. And let's keep in mind, once we touch down, we'll wait till the nose gear is down on the ground to deploy thrust reversers. And then we'll set thrust reversers to idle by 65 knots indicated. Awesome. Everything checks out. Much better this time on the approach, guys. Got ourselves set up early. Got a good glide slope capture, good localizer. We'll continue flying it here with the autopilot. And then we'll take over the controls here momentarily. There's Lake Nona. If any Central Floridians are watching, we're going to come in right over Highway 417 near the VA hospital. That's that building right there off of our nose. Nice area right here. Lake Nona is evolving. This photogrammetry scenery is outdated. There's plenty more buildings there, and it's going to continue expanding. That's what we do here in Central Florida. We just keep building upon building. Good little crosswind here. 16, 17 knots now. Two red, two white on the Pappy. All right, auto throttle coming off. There we go. Winds are calming down. Autopilot disconnected. My controls. All right, mains contact. Let's bring the nose down. Reverse thrust set. And 65, back to idle.
Executive 343, contact ground on 121.8.
Ground 121.8 for Executive 343. Take this exit here. What is this, November? I forget what taxiway this is. Let's go over the whole short line here. And let's go ahead and clean everything up here. So let's go ahead and clean. Speed brakes, landing lights can come off. Flaps can come up. Let's go ahead and turn off strobes. Ground recognition only. That checks out. We'll go ahead and tune in to ground 121.8. But for now, guys, enjoy the replay.
Hilton 2220, turning on taxi path lights for you.
Alright, before we call ground, let's go ahead and pull up our airport diagram here. Gonna be another lengthy taxi in. Here we are, all the way on the east side, and we gotta go all the way across. Orlando International, akin to Dallas-Fort Worth, is one of the biggest airports in terms of acreage. This place is huge, guys, trust me. Been here 25 years around this airport, worked here, and it's insane how big it is and how much more there is in terms of plans to expand it. Alright, let me go ahead and call ground, see what they want us to do here. And the ground, good morning, Executive 343 off of 35 right, requesting taxi to signature.
Executive 343, taxi to signature ramp spot stand 192 via Juliet Lima Kilo, hold short of runway 17 right, then Hotel 1 Golf Foxtrot Charlie Bravo 10, hold short of runway 36 right, then Bravo 10, hold short of runway 36 left, then Alpha. Have a great day.
Taxiing to signature via Juliet Lima Kilo, hold short 17 right, then Hotel 1 Golf Fox Charlie Bravo 10, hold short 36 right, then Bravo 10, hold short of 36 left, then Alpha, Executive 343. Holy hell, what a taxi. Juliet Lima Kilo. Okay, so there's Juliet. We're going to make Kilo, or Lima Kilo. Let's go. And you guys know how I like to do this. There's no point recording all the taxi. We'll just take some cinematic shots here as we make our way over to signature. By the time we get there, it'll probably be like 4:10 in the morning here as I'm recording this. And I got to go to bed, so let's get this over with. Here we go, approaching the signature ramp from the south on Alpha. We're going to turn in here. There's the Magic hangar right there, the blue doors. That is where the Orlando Magic fly in and out of with the Delta charters. Worked there many years. Fond memories here. Alright, we're going to park right by the gate entrance over there. There's the FBO. It sucks, man, not having the static models here, but it's all right. All right. Let's go ahead and get parking brakes set. Verify that all of our anti-switches are off. Thrust reversers. We'll go ahead and set the thrust levers to cutoff. IRS mode control knobs to off. Passenger advisory lights to off. Standby gyro caged. There we go. Red flag. Standby power can come off. Let's hide the yoke. Avionics and ECAS switches to off. Emergency light switch, leave it in arm. Let's go ahead and kill all of our exterior lighting. Beacons off.
Orlando, ground, delivery,
Let's shut off this comms. Gravity crossflow switch off. Everything is off on this side. APU master is off. We didn't turn it on because we are going to be remaining overnight here at Signature until our next flight. And then lastly, shut off our battery 1 and 2. There we go. Let's go ahead and get some chocks. Perfect. Now let's turn around and open our cabin door. Let our passengers out. Here we go. Let's go ahead and step outside. And as our passengers are getting ready to deboard, I'm going to go ahead and throw some pitot covers on. Let's run to the back here. Pretty good scenery, man. This is the taxi to gate KMCO scenery. Always loved it. Looks so good. Pretty close to the real thing, by the way. Alright, while our passengers are grabbing their stuff, let's get some engine covers on. Even though we should have let them cool off a little bit, it's alright. Just doing a post-flight check here, making sure everything is in one piece so that the owner does not fire me. Engine chill looks good. Trailing edge on the right wing looks a-okay. Winglet looks good. Leading edges. Yep, looks good. Well, welcome to Orlando, folks. Signature flight support, of course. Now called Signature Aviation, so no longer flight support. Although they still provide flight support, of course. But yeah, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this flight. We'll see what's next for the Citation 10. I'm thinking maybe somewhere in the Caribbean. Maybe going down to our native land of Puerto Rico. Going down to Aguadilla or San Juan. Be another good 2-hour and change hop with the Citation 10. Or we could just go straight to St. Martin. Famous Princess Juliana. Beautiful approach there over the water. Alright guys, well, don't forget to hit that subscribe button on the way out if you stuck around this long. This is Captain Gonzo with that Flight Sim channel. Wishing you all smooth landings, happy flying, and we'll see you very, very soon.